Told you. Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design.
Hey, boy buddies, can you hear me okay? I know you can't see my face. Hold on. What's the deal? No excuses, boy buddies. We don't make no excuses. We gonna be here no matter what. We gonna do what we say we gonna do. That's how we come through for you, boy buddies. What's going on? Welcome to the Boerboel Show. And if you did not know, I'm your host with the most. I'm the Boerboel man. I'm the Boerboel king. No, what's up, boy buddies? I'm Exotic Boerboel's Jordan Pittman, and we're going to keep it cool. We're going to keep it smooth today because we got some real factual information that we breaking down. I'm on the road today, y'all, so we don't have all of the extras, bells, and the whistles. But guess what? You got me. I'm here, and that's all that we need. Now, getting into our story, getting into our lesson, we got a lot to talk about. And we go start straight up with the elephant in the room. You know, if you haven't been in the podcast space, or if you're new to the podcast space, it's jumping on the dog side. We got a lot of podcasters, a lot of dog talk. You know, you got people trying to or separate and shift through the nonsense. And these podcasters, you got podcasters that's relaying information. I love it. I really do. Giving us a chance, you know, if you a dog man like me, you can be out listening to dog talk. You could be getting dog information, dog ideas, better your understanding on a personal level. So I'm happy and I celebrate it. But let me tell y'all something. This ain't no podcast. This is a documentation of my journey. This is a documentation. These are my memoirs. That's why we don't get all crazy and buck wild and out of control, cussing and calling people out their names. This is about building. That's what I'm about. Helping people, building the community, blowing up, going up. This is about building you up with information, tools, and news that you can use. This is about empowering you, being a source, being an example. You want your dogs to look like mine? I'm going to help you. So we a little different. You understand? We done already accepted that this is who we are and this is what we came to do. We came to bring the best dog the world has ever seen. Pure, plain and simple. None other than, nothing less. So all that we do is in effort for that. All that you see, this information that we study, the dog food, the exercise, the discipline, the mental stimulation, the companionship, everything that we doing is about enhancing your relationship. And it's funny to me because it's like, you know, learning about dogs has taught me a lot about myself. Learning about dogs teaches you a lot about people. Because when you're breaking it down, you start to understand things that's from a level of a species, right? So pay attention, board buddies, because it's going to make a lot of sense in the end, right? I learned a lot about myself as a man, as a human being, right? We going to get into the dog talk, but you got to pay attention to something, right? Dogs are a species across the board. Then the second is the sex, the gender. Is it a male or female? Then third, you got like locations, the different situations, where did we come from, who is our parents, so on and so forth. And then that shapes basic foundation for who we are. So understand that, board buddies. I want y'all to know what's really going on. I'm giving you some insider information, some ground level understanding of human behavior. Because I don't want you to get it twisted. This is a documentation of my journey, right? I reference myself. This is about me contributing to the greater good of society, helping people, helping people with their dogs, helping dogs be better dogs. Now, so I'm saying that because that's not everybody's ideas, understandings. I'm not caught up in no titles. I'm not caught up in no awards. You understand? Those are objects. I don't refer to objects. I refer to myself. I don't need no validation from no one else. So when you get dealing with people, you understand that we are all social, just like the dog. And we got basic needs. We want to be important. We want to be socially accepted. All people. So knowing that, it gives you an understanding of a person's behaviors, ambitions, and things they make, why they do certain things. So now with that understood, let's get into this European Doberman's Club and this whole little debacle of a recent with Dornado Future, the Rhino Boerboel character, right? Now, pay attention to what done really happened. These dudes was cool. They was friends, right? Remember, greed. People looking for capitalistic. They want to win. Looking for a deal. Not only a steal is even better than a deal, right? So pay attention. This dude, Gerald, and I was used to be what I thought, but listen, you can't fool me. Gerald, knowing good and well that Rhino Boerboel is an unethical person, right? Now, I told everyone very well what was going on. I warned everyone. Remember, he came, I introduced Rhino Boerboel to the world, Boerboel world, on my show. People was getting a nod. They thought that Rhino Boerboel was cool with me. And I'm going to tell the truth is, in the beginning, you know, because he kept calling me, right? And I try to see the good in everyone. And the man does talk dogs, so I will listen and talk dogs back and forth all day long. And I don't think deep down inside that he really is a bad person. Just like everyone else, he wants to be accepted. He wants to be cool. But what ends up happening is, for me, you really got to be about the dogs. And I ain't into no gossiping. And a lot of the premise of our conversation is him attacking Savage Kingdom. And I'm like, look, bruh, I'm not going to get into you tearing down another man. I don't do that. That's not me. That's not necessary. Well, he's tearing down the dog. Well, he's mad about Barack. He's mad about the success of Barack. He's mad about, what up, doggy? He's mad about all of these different things. And I'm like, man, it's really nothing to be mad about. You know, he's getting to the point where he's like talking about beating this guy up. Said Jason from Savage Kingdom. And at this time, I did not know nothing about Savage Kingdom. I mean, you know, I didn't know him personally. I had never talked to him. But what I will say in his defense, he was a man of character. And I could see that from the way that he responded to hate, from the way that he was responding to the criticisms, all because the man was saying, I got the best dog. I got the biggest head, bone, and chest in the U.S. That was his belief. Now, was it true? That's where I come in. Well, we don't have no real way of measuring who got the biggest head. So anybody could say that. Anybody could say I got the biggest bone. And it's nothing wrong with saying that if that's what you truly believe. That's the truth to you, right? He's a Boerboel breeder. He's a Boerboel breeder. We all one and the same. My goal is to unite the community. A lot of people have a problem with Jason and Savage Kingdom because he got his dog from Danny Jones, DNK, and they feel as though Danny Jones, people have their own personal opinions about what the man has done, and he does it, whatever he have done. I don't think nobody gave him nothing in life. He worked for what he had. What I don't know, and it's not in defense of nobody else, but what I'm not here to do is judge no one. So they got a problem where he got his dog from because he didn't get it from that inner circle. So what you have is a lot of these elite so-called, because you got a lot of cliques behind the scenes that's operating that you don't see. You got group chats, you got text, group text, you got chats, and that's where they coordinate these shows. That's where the coordination of the winners is happening. Because that's where a lot of these politics, policies, and procedures. And now we're gonna start at the end of this today. We're gonna start at the here and now. When I get back to my computer, I'll break it down from the beginning. And I got receipts. I keep receipts. I got paperwork, document, paper trail. Now, all of that hate, you know, I said, well, and I started to kind of like see that he can kind of, he was reasoning and he started to come around. He started to come around a little bit to the point that I felt comfortable of him coming on to the show, right? And at this time, this was before you, and it's all on the lives. You can go back and look for yourself. The point that I'm making is, okay, it brings out Savage Kingdom. Savage and him got a beef. I'm trying to squash the beef. They don't want to squash the beef. Rhino don't want to squash the beef. He want to come off a line after we have our podcast, and then he goes and attacks Jason. Hey, stupid Jason, I want to come over to your house and beat you up. And in my mind, it's like, what does this prove? All of these dog guys talking about fighting, talking about beating up people, Richard D. Berry putting his paws on people. And y'all know y'all really ain't even like that. Like, why are you even saying that? If you really was a tough guy, you would be a boxer. If you really was a tough guy, you would be in the MMA. But no, you want to get on these dog Facebook groups and talk tough to people that's trying to breed dogs. I don't get it. And that's why I don't, I participate in a whole lot of this extra stuff that's going on. So long story short, we see that Rhino is a slime ball. Well, he can't control himself. He's somewhat of a loose cannon. He can't watch his language. He continually is insulting Jason Gibson. Right, he too big for all that, man. He can't box. So he talking all of this, hate. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm cool and I help you out, but I'm not here to raise no another man's child. And everybody just refuses everybody don't want to grow up. So I leave the man alone and let him go ahead on. Me and Jason Savage Kingdom, we kicking it on the podcast. We having a good time. Two of the biggest breeders of the, social on this platforms. We kicking it. Now all of this is doing is making Dornado Future, he's getting jealous. He's getting upset. It's fueling this envy. It's fueling this jealousy. Now, behind the scenes, NABA, the reason that Jason has built up somewhat of a machine. And it could be a threat for a lot of people. It looks threatening. Not only is he the biggest breeder, but now he's starting up Midwest, Florida, California. I think they was talking about New York, Louisiana. They had, they was setting up a machine in their minds to dominate the Boerboel industry, squeeze out a lot of people, and what was worrisome to a lot of the more established breeders or some of the bigger breeders that is supposed to be supposedly having the better dogs, they got a problem with this because now they're not getting as much attention. They don't have that mastery of the social media, and they're not drawing the type of attention that Savage is drawing. Once you could look at his dog, the first impression is the lasting impression. That presents quite a bit of problems for the ones that supposedly have at the top, the elite Boerboel breeders, so to speak, the higher ranking Boerboel breeders, so to speak, or whatever. You know, this is all based off of like appraisal scores and awards and stuff. Meaningless, meaningless awards. Jason wants a piece of NABA. He realizes how important appraisal scores are in determining business, business factors. The higher the appraisal score, the perceived value is higher. Jason would like to have more appraisals, more appraisers, instead of just one person appraising all the dogs. Now they got this group chat. I don't know nothing about this. Like I said, all of these things happen behind the scenes. That's why I like to stick to dogs. And none of this has nothing to do with no dogs. We spent so far 17 minutes engaged in conversation, and we haven't talked nothing about no dogs. All people, politics, BS. Now, the real truth is this dude, Donato Future, aka Rhino Boerboel, is an industry plant. He's a crash dummy. They done sent him in knowing that he can't read and write, he can't spell, and he'll do anything that they say to be down. They send him in to do the dirty work. Now, who would do this? Why? Why would they do this? Why do they have this thing against Jason? Why do they have this thing where against because of what they represent? Independence, non-dependence on the system, self-sustaining. So, just like me, I am not bowing down, riding around the country to pay you no money for you to appraise my dog, a so-called expert that don't have nearly experience that I have on no dogs. You're not gonna tell me what's right for me. You're not gonna tell me what's correct for me at all. And not only that, though, I've had negative interactions and experiences at these things. You know, I've been there long enough to know, to figure out who's benefiting from these systems, who's benefiting, who truly is benefiting from this appraisal. I'm not slow. I'm not stupid. You want something slow and green, find you a turtle. I catch on real quick. I say, you know what? I can do this. I have done it already. Jason, we can do this. He not so hyped on it. He said, hey, man, I'm riding with NABA. NABA ain't never did nothing to me. I got appraisal coming up, so on and so forth. Hey, I ain't got no problems with them. In fact, they've been pretty good to me, so I'm gonna keep being good to them. Little do he know, they got a problem with him. So he's taking up for NABAs. I'm like, okay. We go down to this, appraisal. I get invited to the Boer Buddy's mom from on the road. Yeah, so I get invited to this appraisal by Terry Trammell. I pull up, I got the squad, we got the dogs, we got a van, we pull down there, we hop out, we got a dog show. Everywhere we go, it's a dog show. Exotic Boerboel Familia. When we get together, it's a dog show. Every time we pull up, it's a dog show. So we got the parking lot going. You hear me? It's it's jumping harder than the tent. So now, fast forward a little bit because I got to give you some back. Well, let me rewind it a little bit because I got to give you some history. I'm not. I was doing dogs before NABA was ever invented. I was breeding Boerboels. So what make me think? What make NABA think that they gonna tell me who gonna praise my dog from NABA? Nobody. I'm gonna praise their dogs. Nobody gonna praise my dog. Gonna tell me what I need until you can prove. We got a long-standing beef, and we're gonna get into that next, probably to couple days. Long story short. So I pull up to the appraisal. I got my camera. I'm out, and I got the videos. They gonna kick me out the dog show. They gonna tell me I can't be there because I'm not no member. Mind you, I had my dude come from Virginia. He wasn't no member. He got the same paper. He got his dog from me. So he ain't a member, but you know, he's an enthusiast. Oh shit, you don't say. He's an enthusiast. So why how can he be there and I can't be there? You gonna tell me I gotta go. All right. Well, before I go, tell you a couple things about how I feel. Since that's how you feel, and I'll let them know how I felt and left. I wasn't done, no. I wasn't about to just accept that. I had to go and left and walked away smooth and cool. So what I did was I decided to come on my platform, that I built from the ground up, from 0 subscribers, and talk about NABA, the legitimacy of NABA, who are the members, supposed to be a 501c3, and we end up breaking NABA down to the dust, right? They shut their doors. They put out this letter. We gonna go over the letter. We harassing them by asking them to comply with the laws of the United States. We made a public records request. We are allowed to do that. We went online and broke down their numbers. We went and saw their tax returns and found out what they was reporting versus what we knew that they had collected based off of their own Boerboels, of their own numbers. So they decide to close the doors instead of complying with our requests. I don't see how that's harassment. They put out a letter, NABA is closing. NABA is going to transfer ownership over to this quote unquote Maximum Trans. Now, come to find out, they got a history. Maximo Tran is a Corso breeder with a Corso rescue. That is who is behind all of this. The whole time I'm attacking NABA, you got the people in the group chat trying to tell me, slow down. Hey, man, back up. We got this under control. They're going to give it to us. That's Rhino, DNK. DNK was bidding on NABA transferring ownership over to him. Come to find out, Maximo Trans, his real name is not Truan, it's not Trans. It's Truani. Truani. It's T, I don't know how you pronounce it. But that is the one that all of these dudes seem to like. I don't know what it is that they scared of him. I don't know. He got some money, but none of that means nothing to me because I measure a man as well, a dog man is measured. I measure you off your dogs. And now I just see a mass kennel separation, a kennel setup, penitentiary style setup, a lot of lines and lines of kennels and dogs in cages, pissing on the floors and pooping in right where they lay at, unnatural type setup, not ideal for dogs. They talk about all these corsos with these unnerved. When they come out of these high stress situations, it should not be a surprise or a shock. When the mom is nervy and stressed out, coming from an intense nerve situation. I found out his real name is true. It's Too Much Swag. That's his real name. His real name is Swag. Too Much Swag. You look it up, just look up Swag. And he was actually on Could Have Been Records. Maybe that's why they like him so much. But I thought the chain was fake. I looked at the chain, it looked like a fake chain to me. Anyways, what is the connection there though? What is a Boerboel breeder doing? I mean, a Corso breeder, Swag, tied in with Shirley Hackler, the leader of the NABA, registering paperwork. They got some kind of connection there where she feels like that's her son, a stepson, and he feel like that's his stepmom. Well, that's fine. I don't see nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of like curious, interesting. You breed Corsos. Why? What's the affiliation with a person that is involved with the Boerboels and registering the Boerboels? Oh, but then we find out Too Much Swag also breeds. Too Much Swag also breed Corsos. And he running, oh no, he not only breeds Corsos, he also breeds Boerboels. So I gotta say this because a lot of these people in this dog game, they making up these personas, like Max. Your name is not Max. You just like it's something that they made up, and I don't know where they got this from. But Rhino Boerboel's Gernado Future is Too Much Swag. Max Tran, that's his crash dummy. Now what they try to do, he gonna tie in, and they got him going out trying to build up alliances against me, against Jason, because of what we represent. We speaking out against the policies and the procedures of these governing bodies. They send somebody to do their dirty work. They feeding him with this false information. They probably gave him, I believe, gave him the purchase order. So here's what I have gathered. Rhino Boerboel is going out building alliances, telling everybody he got the hookup on the dog food. Probably telling everybody it's gonna be delivered to Max Trans. I got a $50,000 order. Now I believe probably Max Trans set him up and gave him the purchase order and told him to do this. So it's time for him to crash out, and now we can distance ourselves from him. Because think about it. Why would he do that? Why would he say I got a $50,000 order and you can pay $750 and buy in on it? Somebody told him to say that. He's not that. He ain't no Ponzi schemer. He ain't no schemer. He's not that smooth. They set him up to fail and crashed him out. Now, why I don't have no love for Gerald and why I say Gerald is a slime ball just as much as Rhino, because remember that these dudes was cool. Gerald knows for a fact that Rhino is a slanderous, defamation, unethical, immoral character. Yet he's so greedy, he's so needy, he's so trying to cut corners and make a couple dollars. He's so pressed for money that he ain't passing up on no deals. Right? Now, come to find out, this is a fake purchase order. Now it's a problem. Rhino don't know how to articulate. He want to fight. Gerald wants to be big and tough, and Gerald want to fight. Gerald, who you talk? Gerald think that it's in his best interest to act tough. Gerald want to be tough. So he say, I'm going to expose you. I am powerful. I got weapons. You can't talk to me like that. You better give me my money, and I'm going to expose you. I'm going to make it, I'm going to injure you. I've got power. I can injure you. Ego. It's a whole lot of ego stuff going on in this dog world. That's why I like to just stick to the dogs. My whole thing is I'm trying to produce the best dog in the history of all dogs, legendary, legacy. All of this time we done spent talking. We ain't did no dog business. No dog business. But I want y'all to get a better understanding of what's really going on. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with no healthy competition. Have at it. It should bring out the best in us all. Podcasts, it's all YouTubing. And while we on the subject, because it also came up in that episode with David Renrich and NWA County Corsos, which is mad at me, sensitive. You know, he's sensitive because I had David Winrich on my show. And I felt like he's young and enthusiastic. And if you can be respectful, I will answer his questions and we can have a debate. We can have an intellectual conversation. And I feel like he might have some information or some insight that I could gain from. And I don't judge nobody. It's not my place. I feel like it's good in all of us. We all got something to offer. I specialize in dealing with difficult people. So I don't feel like as long as we can remain respectful, we can have a conversation. We don't have to agree. And Joe felt like David had said some things that was disrespectful. And because he's my dude, I said, well, I don't want to give nobody no light that would be disrespecting to you. So let me go take a look and see for myself, not just going off of what you say, because I don't trust nothing that you say. No one. I trust what your tones and actions say to me also more than your words. But I don't find nothing bad about Joe Corso, NWA Connie Corso's. Yeah, it's a whole lot of ego, a lot of ego. And I'm just trying to do some dogs, that's all. All these people want to be important. All these people want to be, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying, boy, buddies? What was I saying? Help me. God bless you as well. Oh, I was talking about the Connie Corsos, Joe Connie Corsos, NWA Connie Corsos. Yeah, he's sensitive. He got mad because I didn't see nothing negative. Well, he said he had said it before. Well, I said people can make mistakes. If he said it and he's apologetic and he decided to take it down, then I don't see what's wrong with that. You know, I'm forgiving also. And we got to be willing to give people grace. People make mistakes and they can learn from their mistakes. And you going to make mistakes also. You can learn from your mistakes. So I say, bro, let me check for myself. Man, don't put him on your show. Nobody tells me what to do. I don't do what I want to do. I put the man on my show. He was very respectful and did not attack NWA County Corso's Joe Church. Now, they have a problem with some of my arguments, but they don't have the data to counter. There is no counter. You cannot argue. You don't have the information. You don't have, you can't explain it complex ideas, and that's not my fault. So you go get Rain. Rain is going to, you going to let Rain go on your show and talk or say and mention my name because I asked him, what is purity? Jordan, you stupid. Jordan, what is it? You don't know. You must be selling fake dogs. You letting this man, boy, talk like that about me. Oh, well, it's not my show. It's on your platform. You as a moderator, you in the audience. You directly responsible. I'm holding you responsible. Right, he do. He breeds shepherds and corsos. Right, but he's a podcaster. He let this man come on there speak on my name. So I said, man, you soft. That's a chump move. You didn't want to address me yourself, so you go get someone. That's a sucker would do. And I'll slaughter both of y'all in a debate. Because neither one of y'all know how to have an intelligent conversation without interruptions, without talking over each other, without yelling and screaming. Well, he said, well, my show is a barbershop type of podcast talk show. And I ain't been back on there since. Because this ain't the barbershop barbecue Boerboel breeder. I'm serious. High level competition, working class. Can do anything when called to do so. Utility. Say the barbershop. We is cool. I'm cool. He's mad at me. He got me blocked. He's mad at me. I'm not mad at him. We inspire one another. I honestly wish the best for the brother, but I'm just calling it like it is, what I can see. In my world, when you with enemy, you is the enemy. Gerald. So it's a lot of ego, it's a lot of chest thumping and beating and stuff, and just miss. Just know that that's fake. All of these dudes talking tough. If they was really tough for real, they'd jump into MMA. All these dudes want to be celebrities. All these dudes want to be monetized. And I got the solution for y'all chumps. What you need to do is open up an OnlyFans. Because you ain't breeding no dogs. You ain't out here with your dogs. You ain't working no dogs. You ain't running no dogs. Y'all need OnlyFans. Since you want to be celebrities, since you want to be popular and get some views, get your OnlyFans. They running up the views on OnlyFans from what I understand. All that soft talk y'all doing anyway. It's a little upsetting to me when my name come up because all I'm trying to do is the dogs for real. That's what I'm on my way to right now. It's dog business. Put you on the road sometimes. Anybody got any questions, I'm going to take them now. But it's all about the dog, right? About the longevity of the breed. Yeah, it's about ego. For the world, people don't want to work together. Some people out there, some few out there that want to work together. Right? There's nobody there. Oh, bro, in the spring, we got dogs coming up. We got some dogs coming up in the spring. Fire. They'll be ready. It should be around May. King of the South. That's my dog right there. Shoot me a dog on the. Hold on, man. I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I'm on the road. I'm working with my just one thumb. I got one hand on the wheel and one hand on the phone. But buddy, I did not want to let you down though, and I didn't want y'all to think, and like for no reason at all, that I was ducking no fade, ducking no smoke. You know, I'm here for it. I'm here with it. But I don't feel sorry for nobody that got took at all. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, y'all was forewarned. And I told everyone good and well. Oh, I mean, how do you take advantage of a preacher, a pastor, a man of the cloth? Yeah, that's what he did the first time. So yeah, what goes around comes around. And then comes back around again. I'm out here on this road, y'all, dogging it. Cross state lines. That's what I do. It's out at Boerboel dog business. I'll be back. Stay tuned, y'all. We going crazy over here with Boerboel dog talk. You got any questions, put them in it. Put them in there now. Yeah, I'm cool, though. All right, boy buddies.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and. Now you got a deal run up. Old gang, old man, old school, young jam.